How we doing?
All good. We'll start off with Jennifer Streeter from the battalion.
Hey, Ryan, with Mon getting sacked for the first time since the season opener against Vanderbilt, how important is it for y'all to bounce back offensive line-wise against Auburn, who delivered 18 sacks so far this season?
We're just going to treat it like any other week. We don't really – sacks, hurries, pressures, hits, that all goes into consideration. It's not just sacks. We don't like giving them up, but we're going to continue to prepare like we have every other week this year.
Thank you.
Let's go to Gabe Bach and then Owen Buchanan.
Yeah, Ryan, after all you've gone through to get back on the field, how much sweeter has this year been for you? Maybe even beyond your expectations prior to the injury. Maybe you're just playing ball, but with all that you've had to go through, how much sweeter is it?
It's awesome. It's just like hard work paying off. So it feels really good. And we're all just clicking together. So it's nice. It's fun. It's fun to play like this and win.
All right, let's go to Owen Buchanan and then Tyler Shaw.
First of all, from your perspective, why was it a little more difficult to run football successfully in the second half last week?
I'm not sure. I think it was probably just everybody taking their own turn. It wasn't like all of us messing up. It was just one person messing up and it was a different person every play. And that guy would make the play. Or he would have the tackle for loss or whatever it was. I think it was just everybody taking their own turns, and we just need to get together and fix it.
Okay, and lastly, now I don't have any I'm not thinking that you guys are looking at the stats or anything like that, but a couple of years ago, you guys helped Travion Williams lead the SEC in rushing. Is that something that is important to you guys as far as Isaiah this year, because he has a shot at it?
We haven't really been paying much attention to it. I remember 2018 is when Travion broke it. Going into the bowl game, we knew whatever many yards he needed, and as an offensive line, we were like, we're getting this many yards so he can get it. No, we haven't talked about it this year. Haven't even really looked at it. We've just been focusing on the opponent every week.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Let's go to Tyler Shaw from KBTX and then Travis.
Ryan, what does this say about this team when when the offense was struggling a bit, the defense kind of picked up the slack, you're able to get the win? And are you confident heading into this Auburn game? Because, the last couple of times you've played them, they've been tight games. Are you confident that if that kind of happens again, you guys will, be in a position where you know how to win?
Most definitely. Every game in the SEC is going to be tight. And with our defense playing the way they've been playing, we just have to go out and perform as an offense and trust that they're going to do their job and they're going to keep them from scoring points so we can win the game.
All right, let's move to Travis Brown from the Bryan College Station Eagle and then Zach.
Hey, Ryan, I'm curious, not much changed on the offensive line between last year and this year other than you're more frequently involved now. Kind of a chance to brag on yourself. How much do you think that your abilities at center and calling out coverages and whatnot has helped this offensive line move forward to where it is this year?
I think it's all of us having an extra year of experience and skill players having an extra year of experience and just everybody clicking together. I've said this before, one guy picks up the slack whenever someone else messes up. And whether that's an offensive lineman missing a block and tight end picking it up, or the running back making him miss and getting 6 yards whenever it would have been like -3. It's just everybody helping each other out. And I think the other year of experience is really helping us.
And then one out of left field a little bit, you're not the only famous person in the family. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is how much of a fan of Parker's are you, and do you get to see some of his stuff or keep in touch with him at all?
Yeah, I talk to him pretty often. He comes to plays here in College Station sometimes, and me and like a few of my buddies, a few of the teammates will go, and we'll go and hang out with him and just catch up with him because, with him touring all the time, it's kind of crazy. but when he comes to town, we get to catch up.
And I know he tweets sometimes about you and about the team. What does that mean to you to have that kind of a guy with that kind of reach talking about you?
Oh, it's awesome because, I mean, he's one of the biggest Texas country singers right now. So it's awesome whenever he just kind of name drops me or something. It's like, because, I mean, if I name drop him, it's like, oh, whatever, you know. But when he name drops me, it's like, all right, yeah, that's cool.
Pretty cool. Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Zach Taylor from WTIW and then Brent.
Yeah, Ryan, I was wondering how disappointed you were when Carson's big run was called back. Were you cheering the big fella on there? I mean, he can move pretty quick.
I know. Yeah. I was disappointed that we didn't get the first down. Him running, we went back and watched it after the game. It was just hilarious. When it happened, it was funny, but at the same time, it wasn't funny because we just gave up a sack, and like we laughed about it more so after the game and not during the game, because during the game we were trying to figure out how we gave up a sack because we couldn't really figure it out. But yeah, after the fact, it was hilarious.
What's he like as a teammate? I mean, he seems like he's a pretty dry guy when we get to talk to him.
He's a great dude. He was actually one of my groomsmen in my wedding. Been one of my best friends since he got here. He's a great teammate, great leader, very vocal, and is also a lead by example guy, which is pretty rare. He's not necessarily quiet, I wouldn't say. Friends with pretty much everybody on the team. Just a great dude, great player.
Thanks.
Let's go to Brent Zwerneman from the Houston Chronicle and then Chip Howard.
Ryan, wanted to ask you, does DeMarvin put pressure on the rest of the linemen to do backflips?
No, I didn't even know he did a backflip.
Is
That's
that right?
insane.
I was going to ask you what that looked like. So that's news to you on the backflip then.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. I mean, I knew he was athletic because, like, if he falls down or something in practice, I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, whenever you, like, put your hands and you, like, flip yourself up, like when you're laying on the ground, he does that, and we're just like, all the offensive linemen just look at each other, and it's like, that guy's really athletic. But him doing a backflip, I'm not surprised. I would assume he could do that, but I did not see it, no.
Gotcha. Hey, 2 years ago, what are your memories of that trip to Auburn? And y'all had two close calls, especially there, and just kind of the idea. I know Coach said revenge clouds the mind, but just the idea that y'all are probably looking for a little bit of payback against Auburn.
Yeah, I wouldn't say revenge. I mean, that loss sucked. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I think they scored 21 unanswered in the fourth to come back and win it. Yeah. And that was not fun. The plane ride back sucked. The whole, I mean, that's just that feeling that, like, when they come back and win, and words can't describe that feeling because it's so bad.
Hey, thank you.
Let's go to Chip Howard from Sports Talk and then Robert Cessna.
Ryan, did you feel like as a group the O-line did not perform up to their potential on Saturday night?
Without a doubt. Kellen got hit way too many times. He was slow to get up, I think 3 times, and that's just not okay with any of us. And then Coach Fisher kind of put the ball in our hands, and, just started trying to run the ball and run the clock out, and we couldn't. So, I mean, credit to LSU's defense. They're really talented. But we got to get in here today and fix it and practice hard this week and come back against Auburn and fix it.
Yeah, you already mentioned that in passing. I was going to ask you about the quality of LSU's front. It appeared that they played really well Saturday night.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, their record does not show how good of a football team that was. They won the national championship last year. I mean, and a lot of those guys were still there. So they're still very talented and very good group of guys. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go to Robert Cessna and then we'll finish up with Justin.
Yeah, those two guys kind of touched on mine, but getting back to why you didn't play well, because LSU's given up a lot of yards, could have been possibly the layoff, or just why everybody he said everybody in the line took a turn screwing up. So I just wondered why.
I can't pinpoint why. It wasn't the weeks off. I mean, we were still practicing. We were in shape. We just need to get in and fix it, figure out what it was, and focus and come back, have a great week of practice, and come bounce back versus Auburn.
And follow up to Brent's, you did start down there 2 years ago, and you said, you did give up the game. Then they started real strong against you last time and won the game. And coming off a bad loss, are you catching Auburn at a good time? Because is Auburn maybe just being a little bit more than just an average opponent?
No, I don't think so. I think Auburn's a great football team. They're another one of the teams that their record doesn't represent how good of a team they are. Their defensive line, I've watched film today. They're a bunch of studs. So it's going to be a great challenge this week. We need to come out and practice hard and prepare.
Thank you.
Let's finish up with Justin Woodard from KX.
Yeah, Ryan, a couple games before the 2 weeks you had off, y'all were making it look really easy on offense. Just wondering, when it was tough sledding against LSU, what was the demeanor of the offense, and what did you maybe learn in a struggle fest like that you hadn't had to deal with, when you're putting up all those points before that had happened?
Personally, it was a lot of frustration because we weren't moving the ball, and Coach Fisher kept believing in the offensive line to run the football, and we couldn't. And it's so frustrating because we have in the past, and we weren't Saturday night. So personally, I was just really frustrated in the second half of that game, not getting the ball rolling, and we just couldn't. But thankfully, our defense held in there, and basically, I personally think they won us the game with Buddy's pick six and then keeping them to the one touchdown. I think, it was a lot of it had to go to our defense.
Anything to be said real quick, if I could, just to maybe learn from that and maybe get back on track in a game? Let's say you struggle early again or something like that at Auburn. Is there something to be learned there that you can get back on track versus the way you weren't able to get on track against LSU? Or is it just a matter of, adjustments, during practice?
I think a lot of it has to do with us coming out and practicing this week and kind of putting the LSU game behind us, figuring out what our mistakes were today and correcting them, and practicing extremely hard this week and with extreme focus. And so we don't have to be in that position again.
All right. That's all the questions we have for you, Ryan. Good job. Thank you.